All right. If you are listening to this video, you are an early adopter of the Pogie lights, and I'm going to give you a little rundown on the difference between the version 2 and the version 3s. What I've got set up here right now is I've got a version 2 setting above the new version 3s. Just to kind of give you a little idea on the size-wise, real close. I want to move these out of the way so we're just looking at one pair. Same kind of corner. You can see you've got more room in the gusset area. You've definitely got more room in the collar area. That was the biggest complaint, is this was just a little bit too small for a lot of people, big hands or their heavier gloves. And if you're running like an uncut Jones bar, this extra little bit of thummy area here was a big difference. So looking at the differences again, you can see the way this one lays flat. You can see this one has tubing in it. It opens it up. It's nice, pretty damn nice. You put this on your bike, I'll show you what's in there in a little bit, but it'll hold its shape pretty good. Probably not going to hold its shape as well without the tubing, but you can still put tubing in there if you want it. If you're looking through the different ways to attach the bike, this had a strapping and a buckle and a retainer clip. Worked pretty good on the straight bars. Drop bars is a little bit weird to kind of get it wrapped around and tightened up. This is total shock cord with a big toggle cord lock on here, and I will give another video with how to put that on, how to figure eight it and tighten it up over itself. You've got the same denier in the body of the two different kinds of Pogies, but on the new version there is a lighter weight denier, ripstop denier on each side. Here is so you can it'll kind of wrap around your controls and your cables a little bit better, and I'll explain that when I do the installation video. Here is because when you put your hand in, you've already got your base layer, your jacket, what have you, and I would almost kind of sweat here all the time. And it's also, we're kind of going into a feed bag feel and look. Kind of, you look at some of the new feed bags, this is how they've got that cuff on there. The new ones, the old ones, I guess, you had a right and a left. So it depends on where the label was, and the buckle was always on the bottom, so you'd have to pull. So if you're riding on your bars or something, this buckle wasn't sticking in your palms. Here it's ambidextrous, so it's a unit, a lefty, a righty. It's the same Pogie no matter what. You've got a label, it's in a different spot. Had the new labels made where they're a little bit different here. You all know what the old acts like, so I'm going to toss that off to the side. We're going to go into the new now. So the new, to put this on, like I say, you got quite a bit more room in here to get your hands in. You know, this is both my hands in that. This is both my hands in here, so quite a bit different. You know, at least I'm going to say almost 2 inches bigger, which also puts more air capacity into the Pogie. But the cool thing about this, see this cord lock on here? It's called a Siberian cord lock. So pull the knot to tighten it, pull the shot or the zipper pull to loosen it. So you can get it a lot more dialed in. Also with this light fabric, it allows you to put your hand in better. So if you did have it kind of tight, it was pouring down rain, you had it tightened down, you can actually wiggle your hand in there and actually get it out a lot faster. So that's nice. I'm finding myself, I didn't use this on the old one. I just left it the way it was, unless it was pouring down rain, then I'd cinch it up a little bit. I am finding myself cinching this up just a little bit, just to kind of keep the air out, or the opening a little smaller. I can feel the air escape after I'm really riding quite a bit, which is kind of nice. If you've used them enough, you know that temperature control. But it's made where you've got a big channel here. So if the shock cord, you want to replace it, put something thicker, you can actually put that tubing through this collar area. Because of the channel so big, it's easy to feed it through, easy to replace. You got a little Ross grain here as the leash that holds that Siberian cord lock on. Again, acts like a feed bag, kind of a operation per se. On the gusset side, each of these shock cords are 20 inches long. I left this one a little bit longer than I wanted to, but as I am going through straight bars and all that, I'll explain that in the installation video why that's a little longer, because you do want to figure 8 it through, or you do want to go around and lock it back up on itself. That extra couple of inches help. If it gets warm out, shove it inside. Makes it a lot smaller of a Pogie. Same way with this. If you've got short bars or something like that, roll it up, roll it in, yank it through. All the way through here, there's no exposed seams. So as the rain's coming down off of you, whatever, it slides right off. Nothing to set out there in the elements and rot away like thread over time. Like this over time, I think that would take some punishment, just being out in the elements with all this extra webbing on the old pair. All double seamed here, so it shouldn't unravel. I mean, it's ripstop anyway. You've got all clean seams in here, nothing rough. Inside versus the tubing, we've got this binding now. Yeah, it's not rigid at all, but it's rigid enough to hold that opening up. Even if it's wetter than hell, I mean, this is going to get possibly wet inside. It'll flop down just like your old Pogie did. But the real benefit of this is, I mean, you can roll it up. You can stick it at the bottom of your frame bag, off your bars, put it in your pocket. It rolls down a lot smaller. And if you've ever kind of creased that tubing, it kind of holds a weird shape and you kind of got to mess it around. Again, you can still use it in here. So a couple other things in here. I'm going to turn it on the inside out. So you've got a couple little tabs here on this one. I had a lot of folks ask about when they stick their hand in the Pogies, it would kind of fall off whether or not to be on a drop bar or straight bar. I put these 2 tabs here. They are sewed in a direction where if you don't use them, they're not going to tickle your fingers. If you're on your bars, they're not coming at you. So they are sewed what appears to be backwards, but it's by design. I'm going to include these 2 toggles with you guys just for testing wise. The idea is to take it off, put it through this little loop, and hook it back up, tie a knot at the end if you want to. Put it around your bar levers, put it around your brakes, somehow kind of to maybe hold the Pogie on a little bit more so when you're shoving your hand in, it doesn't fall off. I really haven't used these at all. I've messed with them. It's not much to put it on there, but I'm having some of the early adopters test this. Probably won't send these toggles out with folks with the new Pogies, but early adopters, I'm doing it. Prototype, fifth prototype, 4th version, and this is the 17th pair that I've done. So your early adopters, those Pogies will be marked. That's really it on the inside. I mean, I think I've explained the biggest difference. The installation video will go over a couple other cool things, but that's about it between the 2 differences. Thanks.